I was an investor in FTX US and I was a paid spokesperson. All of the paid spokespersons, including me and Tom Brady and Seth Curry and Giselle and right down the list, we're all being sued. During that process, we're going to get to the truth. Litigation scrapes to the truth, and that's what's going to happen. This was not one of my good investments. This was a bad investment for a whole host of reasons. Luckily, I'm fortunate that this particular investment, both the ones in FTX, the accounts that I had in FTX with millions of dollars in them, and the ownership of FTX US, was not in a fund that had other LPs. I owned it 100%. We hadn't made the decision to diversify yet. We were waiting to see if FTX would go public and how regulation was going to come forward before we put other people's money at risk. This was all my money, so I'm thankful for that. Of course, I hate losing money, but it's not going to change the way I operate or what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. I'm going to continue to be an investor. This is not about crypto. This is about bad policy, bad regulation or lack thereof, if you want to put it that way, and some very weak compliance management. That's what's happened to these companies. It doesn't change the potential of what crypto is going to be, but certainly it was a hit. There's no question about it. And, you know, it's embarrassing for me, obviously. So much due diligence had already occurred. I mean, if you look at the cap table of who was investors in this company, it's the who's who of financial services. And so I'm one of them. We're all embarrassed. We feel foolish. It's now up to Sam Bankman-Fried to clear his name. He knows that. He's going to have to do whatever he can and come out and explain what happened. He's an interesting person. I remember 2.5 years ago when I met him, we decided that weekend to do lunch. We went to Milo's. I remember it was going to be a half-hour lunch. I think we were still together 3 hours later. You know, we were discussing many aspects of the FTX platform. I was particularly interested in it from a compliance point of view, whether was it strong enough to support institutional compliance, which is what we spent a lot of time on. One of my team members was there, one of his, and that's when the relationship started and the discussion around becoming a paid spokesperson occurred. You know, that's all going to come out. It's all fact, and you know, I'm sure it's in my calendar with a date. And then I ran into him other times at different conferences, at his conference. He has a tremendous challenge on his shoulders right now. Everybody wants to know what exactly happened. And the only way he can clear his name, and let me be clear about this, is the facts, the truth, the timeline, it all has to come out, and it will. The one unique thing about this situation versus other financial collapses and calamities and disasters, everything that occurred here is on the blockchain. Every single transaction is recorded. Now, you may not know who the wallet is, who owns it, or who stole it, whatever these allegations are, but every single transaction will be able to be found. And so there's no hiding from it. It's going to come clean.
You've been taking a lot of heat. You know, I'm sure you've seen the headlines from Bitboy, or
no, it's not Bitboy. It's not Bitboy. His real name is Bitbozo. You know, look, I understand how the internet works and how to, you know, people want to say inflammatory things to get more users and rile up the. I mean, I'm a big boy on this stuff. You know, I have to be honest with you without sounding trite. It's all noise to me. It's just Rabini, that's just noise. This Bitbozo guy, that's just noise. I don't care. But at the end of the day, it's got to be facts. The whole thing has to be driven by the truth. And we don't have it yet. So I'd like to get the truth. That's what I'm after. This is a tragic story, not just from a financial collapse, but it's a human story. It's an unbelievable story. It's probably going to be told, you know, for years to come. And the chapters haven't even been written yet. We're not even in the first chapter yet. Everything's allegation and insinuendo. We don't know anything yet. And so I'm trying to keep an open mind about it. I'm not happy. I don't like losing that much money, but it doesn't change anything that I'm going to do tomorrow morning. I think the carnage that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks on digital currencies is going to be a buying opportunity, and I will certainly be buying some Bitcoin and some Ethereum, and probably two others. That was what the team was doing this morning, looking at because every time one of these players goes bankrupt,
right,
you have to look at it from 2 points of view. You're getting rid of idiot management out of the market, because these guys always blow up because of leverage. They don't know how to manage leverage. You'll find out I don't care who the player is, when you actually dig into what happened, they blew their brains out on leverage because they didn't have the experience of this kind of volatility. They'll never get financed again, and that's good. They get cleansed out of the market. So then the quality of the teams that are remaining keeps getting better every week. And that's why in a nascent industry like this, in the first inning, you have to think long term. It doesn't change my mind about the potential of crypto and payment systems like stablecoins. I'm still a believer, and I still believe in a decade it will be the 12th sector of the S&P. But along between now and then, there'll be opportunity and volatility. So I probably won't catch the bottom, but I got to admit, Bitcoin is starting to look pretty interesting. So I'm just going to hang in there and probably start putting on some positions in the next couple of weeks. You know, there's a lot of tax loss selling going on right now. This is a year where you got to do it.
Yep.
So most of that is over by December 15th. So you're going to tiptoe through the tulips on disaster crypto. You know, savor the flavor into the early parts of December. I think it gets worse before it gets better.